whole lot going on in France right now. And I tell you what, Paris is one of my favorite cities. So it is heartbreaking seeing some of the news come out of there. And it seems reminiscent of America in 2020. Okay. But the difference in Paris is that there's a lot of social safety nets. There's shorter work days. And I'm not quite sure in terms of how this is playing out and how deep this stuff goes. But I wanted to look at a couple different things. This is from allsides.com. Okay, so allsides.com is a website that kind of gives you all sides of the perspective. I like them. This is like the website I would go to, my version of Breaking Point. It says the ongoing police-induced riots in France have spurred opinions across the spectrum that claim the unrest reveals large problems in French society, including social and economic divide. And then it says, an opinion for The Guardian, left-leaning, says poor racially discriminatory policing has been a long-standing problem in France. And that failure of political classes to address the issue is why young people, especially of color, see themselves at war with the system. It has criticized far-right politicians' assessment of the situation as a civil war, as the R word, which I'm not allowed to say because they get demonetized. Okay, this puts the president, Emmanuel, I don't know how he says his name, Macron. Critics argue he indulged in this functional police force, calculating that to do otherwise would play into the hands of the far right, but rebukes by saying there are issues with the current police system, including inefficient resources and poor training. The opinion argued Macron has made progress against the long legacy of government neglect in France's poor neighborhoods, but may not have been overset. Now, from what I remember, I don't even think that the French police officers carry firearms like that. So I'm not even fully tracking on like what is going on, right? And this is getting into the deeper issues of the system, right? France is a socialist nation with high taxes and social protections, right? But that comes at an expense. Those are you guys that are like, let's just raise the taxes on everybody. Well, that comes at an expense. It stifles growth and opportunity, okay? And he's taken steps towards freeing up the economy, but his arrogance has alienated swaths of the country. The opinion said high-rise suburbs have been neglected the most. High-rise suburbs. That word for suburbs must mean something else there. Suffering from poverty, violence, and shockingly common number of Islamist terrorist attacks. And there appears to be little political will to do anything, okay? So it's a combination of this entire situation in France that led to, I guess, a case of police misuse of force, if you will. And so there's a gentleman who was apparently lost his life, okay? And it says, for the past week, France has been in an uproar, okay? 17-year-old black boy, according to France, the public's response to what they claim is a racially biased act of police brutality has stirred tensions, okay? And so this is the kid, and basically there was a potential, apparently a Tuesday morning, Mazruk was driving a yellow Mercedes when he was approached by police. Surveillance cameras show the officers pointing their... Okay, so I was wrong. They do have firearms in France. I thought they didn't, though. In the vehicle, and Mazruk driving forward just before a single shot was fired. Okay, so he was driving in a vehicle, and this happened. All right. However, an eyewitness video captures a voice saying, "You're going to get a bullet to the head," just seconds before he was shot point blank range. He died on the scene. The officers searched his vehicle for illegal and dangerous substances, but came up short. Gosh. The video of the incident sparked outrage across the whole country. France saw protests consistently every night. 45,000 police officers were deployed. 3,000 arrests were made. So this is a crazy situation. Hey, you want to see something kind of crazy? Over 75% of the people that watch this channel are not subscribed. Please consider subscribing and turning your bell notification on so that you don't miss anything we have going here. All right? Peace. Crazy situation. So apparently this kid was unarmed, and I guess he was driving towards the cops. I'm not quite sure what happened here. All right. But you just don't expect stuff like this to happen in France. Because again, France is this socialist, utopian nation where, you know, they got high social services and all these different things. So, okay. So let's see if we can find any information about this situation here. He's in Algerian and Moroccan descent. Okay. Deleted by police during a traffic stop in the Paris suburbs of Nanterre. What we know about him so far, Nahel was still living with his mom, 15 kilometers. It reports that in 21, he enrolled on a course leading to an electrical qualification. The teen was also a member of the Pirates of something rugby team. All right. Well, President Jen, the rugby team paid tribute. It looks like he might have been a good athlete. Now, his mother identified his mother to offense that earlier this week that she was angry at the accused officer than at police in general. He was a little Arab-looking kid. He wanted to take his life. Okay, so that's her accusation. A police officer cannot take his gun and discharge it at our children, take our children's life. The teenager appeared to be a fan of Marisol rapper Jewel and appeared in one of his music videos for his song Ragnar, which was posted on YouTube. Now is briefly seen. So I'm sure they're going to say that this is he had a Mercedes at 16? Are you serious? Is that just like their equivalent of a Toyota there, or are Mercedes rare in France? That's an interesting, Eldon. That's an interesting fact. The shooting of the teenager caught on video has ignited long-standing complaints by poor and racially mixed urban communities of police, violence, and racism. Emmanuel Macron had denied there's systemic French laws. Yeah, I mean, even the countries that move away from these quote-unquote capitalistic, colonial approaches are still dealing with this stuff. Okay, well, it doesn't sound like he comes from a wealthy family, right? Am I tripping? Passenger in the car released a video on social media saying he wants to establish the truth because there's a lot of lies on social media. As the funeral of Noel took place on Saturday, several hundred people lined up to enter Grand Mosque, which was guided by volunteers in yellow vests, while a few dozen bystanders watched from across the street. The officer who did this is put under formal investigation and is being held in prison. Preventative detention. Under the French legal system, being policed under formal investigation is akin to being charged in the UK. I mean, so this cop is charged. Okay, so that would seem like if this was wrongdoing, then this is in the right direction, right? Yeah, this situation is tragic, man. It is so sad. It's sad, but it's sad on a macro level, because it seems like there's certain degrees of things that just continue being amplified at scale, and in cities burning. You know, it's just it really is.
Darkness.
It sounds like there's two sides of it. One side of it is, hey, this is allegedly racially motivated because the kid is a Muslim. The other side of it says, hey, people are taking this and making it into a bigger attempt to destroy property and protest and burn down churches, right? So there's a lot of not just racial aspects. There's also the multiculturalism of multiple faiths in this area, which makes it more complicated.
Hey, this is a segment from our daily after party stream. Consider partnering with us online for as little as $5 a month to get access to these daily after party streams completely unedited. You'll also get access to our podcast as they are streamed live into the community before anyone else gets to see them, get to interact with our guests, get access to our private Discord server, and a discount code for our store for as little as $5 a month. Ultimately, that will help towards helping us continue contextualizing the gospel using media and podcast here on YouTube. All right, I'll see you over there. Peace.